Hello guys, this is a little interview about inventory system. Let's start. Inventory system provides a running balance of goods available for sales and cost of goods sold. Under this system, no purchase account is maintained because inventory account is directly debited. With each purchase or merchant side, the expenses that are included. To obtain merchant's inventory, increase the cost of merchandise available for sale. These expenses are therefore also debited to inventory account. Examples: such expenses are fighting and insertions, etc. Each time the merchant side is sold, the relative cost on transfer from inventory account to cost of goods sold account by debiting cost of goods sold, creating inventory account. The next one, we have the LIFO, an example LIFO, and the contest. In contrasting first in and first out FIFO method, the last in and first out LIFO method. In inventory evaluation assumes that the last cost incurred, the purchase merchandise side of direct materials are first costs, charges and gains, revenues. In other words, it assumes that the cost of medicine sold in a medicine company or the cost of material inserted to production department in a manufacturing company is the cost of the most recent purchases. By the first in, I first out FIFO, it is last in and first out LIFO. Can be used in both perpetual inventory system and periodic inventory system. The following example explain to the use LIFO method for computing costs, goods sold, and the cost of any inventory perpetual inventory systems. The FIFO. This is the example of FIFO. The first in and first out method is widely used inventory evaluation method that assumes that goods are sold to merchant companies or material items suited to production department by manufacturing companies, in the order which they are purchased. In other words, the cost of acquired merchant materials are charged against revenues in the order which are incurred. Under the first in first out method, the ending balance of inventory represents the most recently cost incurred to purchase margin on materials. The use of FIFO method is very common to compute cost of goods sold, and the ending balance of inventory on the both perpetual and periodic inventory systems. The example given below explains to the FIFO the method in perpetual inventory systems. If you want to understand it's the periodic inventory system, read first in and first out FIFO method in periodic inventory system article. The records prepare journal entries the record about transactions on the perpetual inventory system. This is the step number one. The step number two, prepare a FIFO perpetual inventory card. The number three, compute the cost of goods sold and cost inventory in how in the end of the month of you whatever you want use it on the year whatever you are using. Alright. The next one we have the LIFO periodics versus perpetual LIFO. The versus the LIFO periodic system and the LIFO perpetual system might generate different costs of goods sold or material usage. And the cost on any inventory figures, the reason is that under the LIFO periodic system, the total sales or in uses is matched with the total of purchases, including pending inventory, if any. At the end of the periodic wares under LIFO perpetual system, each sales or install is matched with the impended person in purchase. That's very easy, right? So next we have the ABC, the longest system analysis. We have the category A, the category B, and the category Z. The category A, high value inventory items. The category B, moderate value inventory items. The category C, low value inventory items. The ABC inventory optimization is critical in order to keep costs under control within the supply chain. Yet, in order to get the most from managing efforts, it's efficient to focus on items that cost most to business. The Pareto principle states that 80% of overall customs value is in only 20% of total items. In other words, demand is not evenly distributed between items. Top sellers business outperform to the rest. The ABC approach states that when receiving inventory, a company should vary business from A to Z, basing its rating on following rules. A. Um, Items are goods which annual compensation value the highest, the top 20% to 80% of annual compensation value to company typically accounts for only 10% to 20% of total inventory items. The letter C. Items are the contrary items with lowest compensation value. The lower 5% of the annual compensation value typically account for 50% of total inventory systems. The last one, the letter B. The letter B items are intercaled items with medium consultation value thus 15% to 25% of annual computation value typical accounts for 30% total inventory items. And that's it for ABC analysis. That's very easy. For the next one, we have LIFO liquidation. The LIFO liquidation occurs when a company using a LIFO inventory evaluation method sells all inputs to old stock, the medicinal or raw materials. Inventory, in other words, it occurs when a company using LIFO metal sells or infuses more than it purchases. The LIFO liquidation causes distortion in operating income and may become a reason of higher tax bill in current period. When LIFO inventory liquidate, sale costs are matching with the current represents and results. Financial statements of having income, the LIFO liquidation, right? Therefore causes a higher tax liability in periods of high inflations. In most of cases, the liquidation occurs when the company uses LIFO, sells or uses the old stock merchandise or raw materials inventory. It occurs when a company uses LIFO metal sales more than it purchases. Companies do not liquidate their LIFO inventory voluntarily. A company may have to liquidate its LIFO inventory, right? Due to one or more of following reasons, we have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The number 1, shortage of emergency or materials inventory. The number 2, higher volume of sales than purchases. The number 3, a sudden increase in demand for product. The number 4, shortage of funds. That's great. The number 5, need to move the old inventory immediately. due to change in style fashion. The number 6 need to free warehouse space, etc. And I think this is all for inventory system, and thank you very much.